The playoffs started today. The Oilers would get the Kings in the opening round once again. Edmonton took the series in 7 last season. How do you think they would stack up against each other this time around, Pierre?
Yeah, I think this is a better, more balanced, and more layered Kings team than a year ago that Edmonton got in the first round. I will also argue that I think the Oilers are a deeper team. But the thing about the Kings is that they actually had their defensive struggles as well earlier this season, but they've really worked on that, and they've been much better in the second half. And when they are at their best, and right now the Kings are playing some of the best hockey in the entire Western Conference, they don't give you a whole lot. And so it is an intriguing matchup potentially again, if that's what it ends up being, because I think it will really test the Oilers in terms of the way they protect the puck, the way that they have to control mistakes, especially coming out of their own end in transition, because LA will pounce on that. That's what the Kings want to do. They tried, they pushed Edmonton to 6 games a year ago. Both teams are a bit different now, but that's what I think of as, team coaches never admit to this, but I think deep down Jay Woodcroft knows that they might be getting the Kings in the first round, and if so, the Oilers have to be a better defensive team.
Going to be interesting to see what Woodcroft does about his goaltending, because that situation's kind of up in the air right now. Stuart Skinner has by far been the better goaltender than Jack Campbell so far this year, but he's never played a single game in the postseason. Campbell's had a couple of playoff runs, neither of which turned out real well for him or his organization. Do you stick with Skinner at this point moving forward, or do you try to jam Jack Campbell back in there and regain his confidence in time for the playoffs?
No, you absolutely stick with Stuart Skinner. There's no way you can go to Jack Campbell in the playoffs. Right now, Jack Campbell is just playing games basically to give Stuart Skinner nights off. And you have to think of it from a player's point of view as well. When you go on the ice and you have a certain goaltender in net who can play up to a certain standard, your game changes. When you have a little more confidence in who's in net back there, you feel like you can play to your capabilities. You feel like you have a little more freedom to do things on the ice that maybe you wouldn't do if the goaltender behind you has struggled. And Jack Campbell has struggled all season long, and we were waiting for him to find his game, and he just hasn't been able to do it. And, you talk about the LA Kings and maybe what they've improved on this year. Well, the Edmonton Oilers have improved as well. They have Matthias Ekholm on the back end. He's reshaped how that back end looks. They have more depth scoring than ever before, and you don't want to waste a season that Connor McDavid is having, not to mention Leon Draisaitl riding shotgun with him. So it'll be interesting to see if Stuart Skinner can handle the playoff games, and you talk about how he doesn't have any, but under no circumstances can you be going to Jack Campbell at this point in the season thinking that he is the answer in net. It's Stuart Skinner's net, and they're going to live and die with him in the net.
And the thing is, that wouldn't make me that nervous if you look around you in the Pacific Division. Let's be honest. Who do you really trust in goal right now, 100% in that division? Right now, Jonathan Quick, off the scrappy, is in goal for Vegas. You got either Korpisalo or Phoenix Copley in LA. Korpisalo's been terrific since the trade, but he's played 4 games. He's 3-0-1. What's his playoff history? And you got Philip Grubauer in Seattle. I mean, it's not a division overall that screams Vezina to you. So from that perspective, I'll take Stuart Skinner against any of those guys.
Well, and the other thing, too, it's like if you're heading into a matchup and you see Stuart Skinner, you see Korpisalo, which goaltender do you think is more scared of the opposition? Would it be Korpisalo more scared of McDavid and Draisaitl? Or is Stuart Skinner going to be more afraid of the threats that the LA Kings have? Like the Oilers always have that trump card in McDavid and Draisaitl when it comes into a matchup.